Hey everybody, it's Isaac and Michelle here, and we are shooting a little video to talk about, I guess, what we could call a little adventure we're setting off on officially. A couple weeks ago we were in Kerrville, and it was Houston Marathon weekend. Both of us were supposed to be in the race. I was supposed to be running the Houston Marathon. Michelle was supposed to be running the half marathon, and neither one of us ended up running that weekend. I have actually injured my knee. I saw a doctor this last week about it. I'm going in for an MRI hopefully next week to see what's wrong, but x-rays showed it looks like some damage, so I'm hoping to get that taken care of as soon as possible. And Michelle, what would you say?
Yeah, my issue with the Houston Marathon, or half marathon, my training just wasn't going well. I haven't, as some of you who know us well know, I went through cancer treatment about 2 years ago, and ever since then I just haven't been able to get my pace down below about 17-minute miles, and so my pace just wasn't where I wanted it to be, where it needed to be. So I have actually made a decision a couple months back that I wouldn't start the race. And in the meantime, we've started working with personal trainers, working out at the gym, trying to address some of those types of issues.
So during that weekend, while our friends and such were running the Houston races, we kind of came to a decision. I guess it was the weekend before that, we got up crazy early to follow some friends in the Dopey Challenge in Florida. Those of you that don't know, the Dopey Challenge is the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend, and it actually consists of 4 races in 4 days: a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and a full marathon. Those 4 races, 1 a day for 4 days. So it's a big challenge. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time. I never really thought it would be a possibility for me until I didn't think I'd ever be able to run a marathon. And then last year I did. I ran my first one. So I know I have it in me. I would have been in the Houston Marathon this year had I been able to train properly. So I've been wanting to really do Dopey for a while. So I had already decided that I wanted to do it in 2020, in January of 2020. But as Michelle and I got to talking, she has done, I guess it was just about a year ago.
Yeah, right at a year ago.
Did the Princess Challenge. Or the Fairy Tale Challenge?
Fairy Tale Challenge, I think is what they call it now. Which
is the 10K and half marathon for Princess Weekend. But she even went one further than that and actually did the 5K that weekend as well with some friends.
Yes, it was a fun weekend.
And so she can do 3 out of the 4 races. And she decided she wanted to go ahead and take a shot at it too.
Yeah. One of the reasons I got to thinking about it, I had actually, a couple of weeks ago, was messing around with Runkeeper, and I was trying to do something, and it took me to my profile. And one of the things, if you are familiar with Runkeeper, you know it allows you to put in a goal. And apparently when I set up my Runkeeper, I put in a goal that I was going to do a marathon by the time I was 45. Well, 45 has come and gone, and I still haven't done a marathon. So as we were talking about this a couple of weekends ago, I thought, you know what, better way to just shoot for the stars than to make my first marathon Dopey. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna we've already started training. We haven't actually hit the road yet because Isaac's got his knee issues. And I've done a lot of work in the gym on treadmills and other equipment there.
Well, and I have been walking and doing a little bit of elliptical work at the gym.
Yeah.
My issue is when I actually run, the impact of running on my left knee is what bothers me. Walking, I can handle.
So our plan is to continue training. I've already talked to my trainer about it. She thought it was a fantastic goal. The way I described it to her, I said, you know, I know that the 5K, the 10K, and the half is in my wheelhouse because I've done it before. So just to shoot for that is shooting for something I know I can accomplish. So what's the point of setting a goal if it's not just slightly outside of what you think you can do? So we're going to go for it.
So we decided to shoot this video tonight as the first in a series that we're going to do. And we're going to kind of branch out across various social media outlets. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. May look into some other things as well. With the videos going to YouTube. With maybe some short Instagram videos as well. And basically just chronicle this whole almost a year of this process. Kind of want to show the good, the bad, and the ugly of the whole thing. And
there will be a lot of ugly.
Yeah, there will be. For us, it's really just to show that regular people can do this. And I don't mean regular as in psychologically or anything, because if anybody would you talk to will tell you we are not regular, we are not normal. But you know, physically we are not athletes. We are not.
We are barely average.
Yeah, barely.
I mean, I generally describe myself as old, fat, and out of shape. So,
I started running seriously, I guess, 7 or 8 years ago. And before that happened, if you had asked me if I would ever run, I would have laughed and just said, heck no, what are you, crazy? So for me, this whole process has been really eye-opening, and I realize now that, you know, if I can do it, most people can do this. It's more about getting up and getting off your butt and doing the work.
That's the hard
than
part.
it is anything else.
Yeah.
You just have to decide that you are going to do it.
I've said that to people so many times when they find out that I've run different races, whatever. I mean, even like 5Ks and 10Ks, people are like, oh my goodness, I could never do that. That's just not true. I mean, there are people, I suppose, that couldn't do it. I mean, there are people with physical limitations, but I mean, most average people, the challenge is coming home after a long day of work, or a long day dealing with your children, or a long day of work and dealing with your children, and finding that time and the desire to train. And that's the thing I struggle with. In fact, joining the gym has been the greatest thing for me, because I just go straight to the gym from work. I don't even come home. And I do half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever it is that day before I even come home from work. Because if I ever come home and change clothes, the night is over. It's not happening. So that's the struggle. But the other reason we're putting all of this on social media is so that we have a family all over the country. And Isaac and I have been talking, in addition to this, about trying to be a little more active on social media so that our family can follow us and keep track of what we're doing. Because that's really been a way that we've used in the family to kind of keep tabs on what everybody's doing and stay checked in. Sometimes it's really hard to make those, you know, weekly phone calls and stuff. So social media gives us a chance to keep in touch with everybody, and we do the same thing with them. We follow what the cousins and other family are doing, so that's kind of what we're looking to do. So keep an eye out there for us. We'll post more. Hopefully we can do some regular videos like this, just kind of touching in and checking in with what our progress is.
Yeah. I think we'll probably try to do these once or twice a week, depending on what's going on. Like I said, maybe some, quick Instagram videos here and there, lots of Instagram photos, Twitter posts, Facebook posts, things like that. So we'll try to get all over.
Keep everybody up to date.
Okay.
All right. Well, see you next time.
See you next time.
Thanks.